We're in a predicament.
We're so cold. It's not even cold. It's just we want to shower, but it's too cold.
It's 20 degrees out. It's freezing cold, and we have no water because the spigot froze outside. Now we have water on board, but now we got to go find and take a shower at the shack here at the campground. We'll check in with an update. Hear that baby whistling? There it is, 30 degrees. Frozen.
That was actually one of the nicest showers in a bathhouse like that at a campground. It was really nice, and I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to stay in there for probably a lot longer than I should have. It's just so warm and clean.
Warm and clean. At least I'm clean and I don't smell ripe.
Truth.
Note to self, next time that if we're gonna have a cold snap, I'm gonna make sure like the water tank's topped all the way off. Update of the day 2 freeze here in Texas. I'm gonna try to get the water back. I'm gonna try to use Kate's hair dryer. See if we can get this spigot to, I don't know if it's frozen all the way down in the ground or if it's just frozen here at the head. So we're gonna try to warm the head up, see what happens. All you need is just a little bit. Oh, look at that. Have a look-see at that, huh? Jeez. It's almost like I was built for this life. Just too good. Just too good for this. Now here's the hard part. I think this has got some residual water left in it. That's why I keep a retractable hose inside. There we go. Bad news. Stinky Slinkies froze. That's alright. Sun's coming on a little bit, so I'll be able to take care of it. Another reason why I'll take hot over cold any day. Any day. I learned my lesson. I'll make sure I fill this tank all the way up this time. Well, we're currently filling the tanks. It was a success mission. Next is, after the sun hits that Stinky Slinky, should take out that big old iceberg that's inside it right now. So we'll check back later. It's still like 30 degrees, hasn't gone above freezing yet, and we still have another day of it. I really don't think it's going to warm up until, I don't know, 2 days from now probably, from what they said. So we're going to have like a 4-day freeze stretch. So we'll report back on how the Brinkley's holding up. Well, it's day 3 of 30s and sucks. So we got one more night of the cold weather. So I just did a propane run. And you know, I've been in 3 states now and gone to Tractor Supply. They've been my go-to, and I think they're probably everybody's go-to. And I swear, every time I walk in there either isn't a guy that can do it, or they're out of propane. And what do you know? They're out of propane. So fortunately, there's this front, I shall call it, down here in town that they got quite the setup. They do dual tanks, 2 tanks at a time. So I was like, heck yeah. So sign me up. So now, let's reinstall the tank. Hello, Pop. Hello. Well, winter has finally let up, but those steps this morning had about like half an inch of ice on them, so little Mag Dog went for a little tumble this morning. But she made it, and I think we're done. I think it's going to be finally nice. Can't believe you guys have stayed along this long with us. Here's the pitfalls of RV life. It's not always warm. It's not always 70 and sunny. I mean, look at it. Gray. It's been gray for the last 4 days and cold. But also, good news. The old Stinky Slinky's unfroze now, so we get to do the old rip and dip here. We're going to go for it right on the black. Whoo! And I tell you what, that's some SOB. She's full. She was full. We actually ended up having to use the back bathroom because she was so full I just couldn't dump it. It's too frozen. So, really, it's been rough, but not that rough. Well, it's been a week since we've been really cold this week, but we've also gone out this week and done a few extracurricular activities.
Those are my favorite.
What'd you do this week, Kate?
So we went to a rodeo, and that was in San Antonio. Then after the rodeo, immediately came out Whiskey Myers. And we love Whiskey Myers, so we got to see them again. And then tonight we're going to a hockey game. So quite a few things this week, despite it being so cold.
Would you look at that? And she didn't mention that the rodeo was a Valentine's Day gift. That's what we do. So
I know, we've always done experience gifts for each other, and it's my favorite.
So I just wanted to wrap up, take a few minutes, talk about how the Brinkley held up this week, where we got down into the six degrees, so single digits. It was super cold. The wind was steady for 4 days, just cutting right through. And Kate and I were warm this whole time. Between the 3 heat pumps, which they don't work that great, obviously, when it's really cold, the fireplace, and then obviously our propane furnace. We didn't have an issue at all staying warm. We were actually sweating at a few points during this time. So really nothing but good reviews when it comes to the cold. So I've actually seen on the Brinkley forums where people have been in sub-zero temperatures and they're completely fine and warm. We did not freeze up once, so that is a huge win to me, other than me being dumb and leaving water in our Stinky Slinky, which that's a rookie move. It is what it is. I knew better, but honestly, I didn't really look at the weather. I was like, it's going to be cold tonight, no big deal, but it lasted a while, as you can tell. So overall, very impressed. As comparison to our Montana before, it would have been like a freezer blowing out from underneath our steps, as that was like an open cavity to the ground. Whereas this is not like that. It's completely sealed. When you look at the underneath of our rig, there's no holes, there's no gaps at all, even around the leveling systems, those stabilizers that come down from each side. They're completely buttoned up and nothing can get up in there, bugs, critters, anything. So we're overall very impressed with this cold snap that we went through. And we're excited to see what the Brinkley can do going forward, because once we leave here, it's going to be more or less boondocking. That's kind of what we're aiming for. So we're really going to be able to dive into it, and we have it stock right now. There's no extra batteries, no extra panels. So it's going to be a pretty interesting ride, especially when we get out to the desert and we start getting the temperature fluctuations. So if you haven't already, why don't you hit that like, subscribe button, follow along with us. It's going to be a pretty fun journey. You're jumping in really early, so you're not going to miss anything. You're really going to get to know us, and trust me, you're not going to miss out. So thanks again for taking the time to watch our video, and we'll see you next week, Wednesday at 7 p.m.